Hi, this is Bill Kilpatrick. I'm talking about Chapter 2, the one about criminal liability, and you've already been through a couple of videos. This third video, we're going to talk about one of the three elements. Remember, there are three elements to crime. One is the act, the other is the intent, and the third one is concurrence. The criminal act, also known as the actus reus. When you start to throw Latin in there, it does throw people a little bit. I like to think of a guy named Ray. Everybody knows at least one guy named Ray they don't like. Okay? Now I want you to think about Ray as some guy who's kind of a sleazy guy. He's kind of a jerk. He's a bad person. Okay? And everything Ray does, well, guess what? It's criminal. So actus reus, that's your criminal conduct. You got to do something in order to commit a crime. There's never been a case where somebody committed a crime where they didn't actually engage in some form of action. So we need to kind of define that a little bit. First of all, thinking is not action. Now, if you're a philosophy major, you may disagree. You may be talking about, well, wait a minute. Well, I thought, that all my work, all my classes, all my coursework is thinking. Yeah, but for the sake of the criminal law, we're not talking philosophically here, okay? You got to go do something. Bash someone over the head, run them over, shoot them, stab them, defraud them. It's got to be some form of action. You could have the most wicked thoughts in your head that would not make them an act. Thinking is not doing, nor is being. Being is not doing. If you have a certain personality type, if you have a certain way in which you approach the world and it leads you to crime, that's not the same thing. You might be an alcoholic. That's not a DUI. You might be addicted to drugs. We'll get you for possession if we catch you possessing contraband, but just being that personality. You might be a rager, but that's different from getting you for battery. Being is not it. It's doing. The other thing is it has to be a voluntary act. Voluntary. That's very important. Not something you do in your sleep, not something that comes about because you're having an epileptic fit, like you're having a seizure, not something that happens because you're in a hypnotic trance, not something like maybe you knock somebody down because you trip over them. That's not a voluntary act. Has to be voluntary in order to be a crime. In my next video, we're going to look at some things sort of that press the limits in terms of what we know. But that's it. That was the point in 5 minutes or less.